So it's probably a little bit late, but hey, Charlotte here. It's 4 a.m. I don't know if you can see that. Let me see if I can get you a better view of the time. It's 4 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, you might be able to see that one. Is the camera going to focus? Anyway, you can probably work it out if you're reading on 4 o'clock. I am no good at reading those things. So it's 4 o'clock in the morning. I have just taken down the stinkiest bin bag that's been sitting in my cupboard in the hallway for a bit too long. Yeah, just had to bleach the shit out of the front of the flat because it leaked everywhere. So, yeah, oops. Yeah, I had a great night at work. Got to play a little tonight, which is good fun. I always like to get behind the decks and play some music, especially if I can crack out some disco. Like, if anyone has ever listened to me play, then I like to play a lot of new disco and remixes of well-known tracks. I will upload a hyperlapse of last night in the DJ booth for those that are interested in what I do. Last night was probably not an ideal version of what I do because I wasn't behind the desk most of the night. I was off sorting out other things, and then when I managed to get back behind the desk, I was preparing to play, so I was getting all set up and getting my mind into the motion of playing music rather than lighting. It is a very different mindset, but I'm getting much better at playing, getting much new different techniques down, and most definitely sort of enjoying playing more than I used to, because I used to find it a very, very difficult challenge and didn't like it, but enjoyed sort of slightly sadistically to my own sort of pain. I enjoyed sort of playing music because I enjoy getting lost in the music as such, and if anyone's actually watched me work, they almost say that I play the lighting desk like a piano. Now, I can't play the piano for shit, really bad at it. I struggle with the concept of it, and I think it's because of the way that the musical notes fit together, and because I can't make them fit together in my way, they have to fit together in the way that they're set out, and that's probably part of my dyslexia that does that. But yeah, there's something to be thought about there. Yeah, I am the lead programmer at the club, so I am the person that decides usually where things sit within the desk and how they all fit together, and how the work process that most people have to follow. Now that doesn't necessarily mean that the other technicians that work with me have to use what I give them. It's just beneficial, and quite often what happens is they take aspects of what I've created and make their own sort of little versions of the same thing, and that works really well in the environment that we work in. Yeah, so had a minor hiccup earlier in the night where I managed to crash the desk by plugging in an old USB stick. I don't know why it did, without getting a crash log or anything like that, which I just couldn't be bothered to do at the time, so that's kind of gone out the window. But yeah, you'll see in the stop motion when I shut the desk down. And something that's really nice about the new ArtNet node, so we have a special interface that works with our desk. That means that we can process outboard the DMX, so the control of the lights. The output of that is done remotely by an ArtNet node, which is just a little magic box for those that don't understand what I'm talking about. and that outputs the control signals for all the lights, which is set up to DMX hold, so it will hold all the last values that were output by the desk, which is great for us because it means that in those situations where we need to have the lights stay in a specific position because there's like a corporate event on, it means that a crash is not necessarily the end of the world. It just makes it slightly difficult because you've got to reboot the desk and then create the state again and plug everything back in. But again, that's not the most difficult task. Today I was working downstairs at the Cuckoo Club. For those that have not seen downstairs at the Cuckoo Club, this is downstairs at the Cuckoo Club. It's a beautiful venue. You can find this picture probably on Google somewhere, or a very similar one. This is one that I actually took of the venue, but a lot of people have seen very similar images around. Yeah, so yeah, there's a bit of vanity on my picture wall. There's also quite an interesting person up there as well, but I'll talk about him in another vlog because he's quite an interesting person to have met in the first place. So yeah, so tonight was quite good. My knees are very achy now, and my foot really is hurting. But yeah, like, good night. The company that hired the venue that came in tonight were very happy with everything. We had lots of problems with iPads. I spent an hour on the phone to Apple trying to get them to allow me to unlock an account, but because we don't know the phone number, it's almost impossible for us to actually recover that account, which means that we're going to have to spend a lengthy amount of time chatting with everyone in the company and trying to work out who actually set up this account in order to discover the phone number that it's attached to. Once we find that out, we can potentially get back into that account, but for now we're working with the one account that the club has, and we reinstalled the software that we use for our photo booth onto that iPad and fitted it into the special case that we have. I'm going to show a video of me taking that apart one day because it's quite a complicated setup, but it's actually quite a nice little box. I'm sure there's better ways to do it, especially because when we come to take it out we actually have to dismantle near enough the whole thing, which is very frustrating. Yeah, there's lots of today. I'm just sort of, I think I'm cognitively slightly challenged today. Yeah, good day overall, except from the aches and pains. I've definitely hurt my right wrist as well, which is not what we want. I have a hand therapy appointment on Monday. I think it's, yeah, on Monday. It's on the 11th. Anyway, so that's actually my next hospital appointment. So, yeah, and then that's the last one for a few weeks, which should be quite nice to just not have to go to one of the hospitals for a few weeks. But we'll see how it goes, and yeah, I think that's everything. Anyway, thanks for watching if you've watched this. Like, rate, subscribe, whatever, you know. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell if you really want to watch these. I'd hope that some people do actually take an interest in my quick little vlogs. Thanks to the one person that has subscribed. I know who they are. I'm very appreciative of the subscription. And hope that they are still watching these. They're not quite as interesting as my written vlogs. I apologise for that, probably. I probably divulge more in my written blogs that I've done in the past. But I'll probably get deeper into things as time goes on, and explain in depth certain aspects of my life, especially explore some of the sort of gender things. Here's an interesting thing just to finish off. I had a 3-hour phone call with my dad. Now, yeah, I would have a 3-hour phone call with my mum, but never in my life have I had a 3-hour phone call with my dad. And last night we had one of those interesting, deep conversations that you have with your parents sometimes, and I don't know if anyone else is the same, to have these similar conversations, but it's a very interesting insight to understand a little bit about what my parents think about and how they think, and how that actually parallels with the ways that I think and how I do certain things. And there's things that I do that I never noticed that I do, but they're because of my dad. And yeah, I suppose I'm very thankful for that call, even though it was long and it was quite painful to get off, because I spent half an hour trying to get off so I could go to bed, because I was very tired, like I am right now. And yeah, it took me half an hour. To be fair, the call was 3 hours long, so yeah, it was quite an interesting call, and I may show snippets of the recording, because he did at one point actually tell me to record the call, and I wasn't sure why he wanted me to record it, but yeah, it's something that I need to talk to him about now, and probably show him the actual footage, because it did go on for quite some time, and yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna go to bed now. I've got my next shift at 9 o'clock tomorrow, so I might try and squeeze a vlog in the evening, or I actually might do it in the morning. I'll take the camera with me, and at the end of the night, just poke myself in a corner and do the vlog, and maybe show you a little bit of my actual work. Anyway, hit a comment in if you have any suggestions for content, like if you want to see what I do and how things work in terms of lighting and that sort of thing. I'd be more than happy to show around the consoles that I work with, and how the consoles control the lights, and how the lights interact with people, and how doing certain things can create energy in the crowd. Yeah, poke it in the comments, and I'm sure I'll see it, because there's not many of those. Alright, thanks for watching. Have a good night.